If you've been here to my channel before, you may have heard me talk about how we use our iPhones every day for photos and videos, not knowing about the features that are built right into the camera and photos apps. But the fact is, some of these are really useful in everyday life and so very simple to use. So today I'm going to show you even more features that you probably will use because they're not gimmicks, they're not silly features, they're actually useful in day-to-day life, and they can help you do things like take better photos, edit with more confidence, and save time. And that's always hugely important to me. So let's jump right in. Hi, I'm Dan Fox, and I've been professionally helping people with technology for over 30 years. This channel is all about making Apple technology easier to understand. Okay, this first feature we're going to talk about applies if you've ever been trying to take a photo or record a video and all of a sudden the brightness changes or the camera suddenly starts focusing on something you didn't want it to. And this happens because your iPhone is constantly trying to adjust the shot for you. Most of the time, this is actually helpful, but sometimes you want to tell your phone to just stop doing that so you can get the shot you want. And fortunately, there's a quick way to lock both the focus and the exposure so your camera stops making those adjustments when you're just trying to capture the moment. I've rotated my phone here so you can see better, but the camera's focusing on that limb and the dog and then back to the limb. So if I press and hold on him until I see these two little squares animate, now the focus and exposure is locked on him and it will stay on him until I touch the screen again to unlock. Now, one thing to note here, this does not technically lock tracking on the subject you're trying to get a photo or video of. It's locking the current position of focus. So if the subject gets closer to the camera or moves further away, you'll need to unlock and relock focus again. Remember, super simple, just tap the screen to unlock focus and then press and hold on the subject again to relock focus. Once you know this feature is there, you probably find yourself using it far more often than you expected. I know I use this one a lot. Okay, the next one is something I've been asked about many times, including some of the comments in my previous videos, and that is, how do you take a photo with an iPhone without touching the phone at all? Many people know how to do this with the timer, and if you're not familiar with the timer, it's right here in the camera app and it works like this. So here in the camera app, I'm going to hit this button right here, and then I'm going to select timer right here. For this example, I'm going to hit 10 for 10 seconds. You'll see a 10 come up on the screen here, and then I'm going to speed this up a bit as I get my camera into position. But as soon as I hit the shutter button, the countdown begins and I have 10 seconds until the photo is taken. And this took way more takes than I'm willing to admit, but it turned out okay. Now, obviously, there's a lot of situations where the timer comes in handy. Maybe you're taking a family photo or a picture of yourself and you don't want to be holding the phone. And there's also scenarios where maybe you're trying to photograph something really small in a cramped space, like maybe a serial number behind an appliance, where you can't easily take the shot manually without moving the phone and blurring the info. But one thing many people don't know about the timer is that it actually takes burst photos. Now, one quick note here is if you want the timer to take burst photos, you have to turn off live photos by hitting this button here and making sure live photo symbol looks like this. If it doesn't, keep pushing this button until the symbol looks like this. Now, since I had live photos off when I did the timer demonstration earlier with the dogs, you'll see here when I'm looking at my photo library, this photo right here, if you look really close, it looks like a stack of photos at the top. That indicates that a burst photo was captured, so when I used the timer earlier, it made this burst photo. Now, if I click on this to open it, you'll see right here where it says burst 10. That means there's 10 burst photos here. If I click on that, I can see all 10 of them. They run across the bottom. I can either swipe right here within the photos to look at all the different burst photos, or I can swipe along the bottom. Now, I was being really still here, so you can barely tell these are different, but Oliver was moving. Actually, if I swipe along the bottom here, you can see better. See his mouth's opening and his arm is moving. So I can swipe through these and select which photos from the burst photos I'd like to keep. I do that by simply hitting these little check boxes in the bottom right-hand corner. When I'm done, I hit the bigger checkbox up here in the right corner. It'll ask me if I want to keep all of them or just the 3 I have selected. I'm going to select keep only 3 favorites. Now, when I go back into my camera roll, you'll see just the 3 photos have separated now into actual regular photos. So the timer is super useful, but if you have an Apple Watch, there's an even easier way to take photos just like this, and this also takes those burst photos. Get your iPhone set up where you want it, open the list of apps on your Apple Watch, and select Camera Remote. It will immediately connect to your phone, and you can zoom in and out spinning the dial like this. If you hit these 3 dots in the bottom right-hand corner, you can go into the settings. I have it on a 3-second timer. Various settings. Remember to turn off live photos if you want those burst photos. I'm going to leave it on 3 seconds here for the timer. Now get into position. Check your watch to make sure you're in frame. Hit the shutter button on the watch. Get your 3-second countdown, and there you go. You've got your remote photo. Not my best work, but you get the idea. And there's actually one more way you can take photos with your iPhone without touching your phone. And that's by using your voice. Now this one does take a few more steps, but it's still pretty simple to enable. All you have to do is go into the settings of your iPhone, swipe until you get to accessibility. Select that. Then swipe until you see voice control here. Select that. Now you're going to select commands. And now you're going to select create new command. For this one, I'm going to call it take photo. And then I'm going to hit save. Now I'm going to hit run custom gesture. This is where it's a little weird. Don't touch the screen except tap one time approximately where the shutter button is when you're in the photo app. So I'm going to select right here one time and then hit save. I'm going to go back one by hitting this arrow here, and then I'm going to hit save once more. And then I'm going to go back one more screen here, and then I'm going to turn on voice control right here. That's it. So now, as you can see, I'm hands-free. I'm standing here away from the phone, and all I have to do is say, take photo. Now, I do recommend turning off voice control when you're not using it because it can hear your voice and accidentally trigger things on your phone that you don't mean to. Also, using voice control to take photos in this way doesn't take burst photos, it just takes one photo at a time. Anyway, there's a few different ways to take hands-free photos. Now, we take these hands-free photos all the time. These are great when you have a group of people together and you want to have everybody in the photo, or you want to be a little further away from the camera. Whichever method you use to do this, it's really nice to know this option is there when you need it. You know what else should always be there when you need it? Your wallet. That's one of the reasons Magback's new smart wallets are great. They work directly with the Find My app. Yep, it's time to thank today's video sponsor, Magback. Magback smart wallets attach magnetically to any MagSafe compatible case. This includes Magback cases for iPhone, Google Pixel, and Samsung phones. There's room here for your cards and some cash without having to carry a separate bulky wallet. And just like Magback's Elite case, the wallet has this finger loop on the back that gives you a much more secure grip on your phone. But the feature I appreciate the most is the built-in tracking. Magback offers a version that works with Apple Find My, as well as a version for Android users that works with Google Find Hub. You can check its location and have the wallet play an audible sound when you're trying to find it nearby. It's also got a long-lasting rechargeable battery, and when you do need to charge it, you just put it on a wireless charger. The back of the wallet sticks to pretty much any metal surface, so if you want to stick it somewhere when you get home for safekeeping, you can do that too. And you can even add customized engraving to the wallet to make it that more personal just for you. I'll put a link to the Magback Smart Wallet in the description below. You can use my code DANFOX15 to save 15%. Thanks again to Magback for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to Apple Camera and photos. Here's another feature that's surprisingly useful, especially when you text photos to friends or family. Let's say you want to show someone something in a photo, but the background is a mess, or maybe there's something in the photo that you don't want to share. Your iPhone can actually lift the subject right out of the picture and let you send just that object without needing any other apps. Now this one is super simple. I'm just going to my photo library here and I'm going to open this photo right here. Then I'm going to press and hold on the dog. I'll get a pop-up. I'm going to select copy. Now I'm going to swipe out of my photos, go into my text messages. I'm already on one here with my wife. I'm going to tap in the messages area. I'm going to tap again and hit paste from the pop-up menu. There it is, just the dog, no background, and I can just send it on my way. Now, depending on how your settings are set up, You may see this option to paste from photos directly. You can use that if you have it. Either way, this allows you to send a picture of the subject without the background being included. Now, to be honest, when this feature first came out, I thought it was kind of novelty until I started actually using it. It's actually really nice to be able to share just the thing you want out of a photo without worrying about what's in the background or what else is in the photo. And this feature works for other apps on your Apple devices too, not just messages. You can copy things out of photos and paste it into emails, notes, documents, and other apps. It's actually really useful. If you're enjoying the video so far, please consider clicking the like button below. It's totally free and it really helps my channel grow. And if you enjoy practical Apple tips like these, consider subscribing so you don't miss future videos from me. I sincerely do appreciate it. Okay, have you ever refrained from trying to fix the lighting or color in a photo after you've taken the photo because you don't want to mess it up and ruin the shot? The good news is that's not how the Photos app works. You can make all kinds of edits, crop, adjust the lighting, experiment with all of these settings. And if you ever decide you like the original better, you can go right back to it. For example, I'm going to go into our wedding album here and mess up a photo that I really don't want to mess up. So this one here, taken by a professional photographer, I'm going to go into the edit mode here. I'm going to change the rotation and then just start changing different settings. I'm going to hit adjust right here and I'm going to mess with the exposure and the highlights and the brilliance and all these things, just randomly going through here, totally making this photo look pretty much terrible. When I'm done with all this madness, I'm going to hit done in the upper right hand corner. And there you go. Now the photo looks terrible. If I want to go back, all I have to do is hit the edit button right here and then hit the revert button up here in the upper right hand corner. Then select revert to original. You can come back and undo these edits anytime after you've made edits, even if it's years later. And since all the edits in Apple Photos sync to your Mac and your iPad using iCloud, anything you undo back to the original will undo on all of these devices too. So don't be afraid to experiment because your original photo is always there if you need it. Okay, those are more camera and photos features that I honestly think are worth your time. If you learned something new today, let me know in the comments below. And if there's another camera or photos feature that you use all the time that I didn't mention here in this video or in my other videos in this series, I would love to hear about it in the comments as well. And if you missed those other videos, I'll put them on screen right now so you can check out those playlists. I think you'll find many of these are practical and quite useful. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.